All right, fam. What is good? Welcome to the program. It is Speak On in Sports. I'm your humble host, Victor Wynn, and on my right, maybe your left, is my homeboy, Clarence Matthews, aka T Know It All. T, what's going on, man? How you doing? How you
Hey,
living?
ain't much, man. Ain't much, man. I'm not too bad getting over this little illness, man.
Hey,
Dealing,
that's good, man. I'm glad you're feeling better. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about this Super Bowl real quick, and then we're gonna dab into something else that we discussed earlier. But the Super Bowl, how do you feel about it? Are the right people in the Super Bowl today?
So I'm about to say something for the NFC East. I want
Okay.
to see Saquon Barkley win it, but not the Eagles.
Okay,
I
you
don't know.
can't have that, man.
Yeah. I don't know how we work that portion out, but I can't take Philly fans any longer. And you know the boy, the young boy that that fell off the pole, he died.
Oh yeah, there was a young man, I believe that was uh he was in Philly and he was celebrating
Yeah,
the NFC East.
after they beat us, yeah, he
Yeah,
died. He
he
fell off that
had
pole and
died.
died.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame in that. So okay, so you do feel like the Chiefs deserve to be in there, and I know you want Saquon to win. I want Saquon to win as well.
I'm just tired of Philly fans. If they weren't so bad, I would be okay with it.
Yeah, Philly fans are a little obnoxious. They're a little mean. They're a little they're a little everything in between. If you know what I mean. I mean, if you could throw a snowball at Santa Claus,
And and,
something's
and I'm
wrong.
really tired of hearing Gilly,
Who's that?
the guy Gilly, whatever his name is, wear the big hats.
Oh,
The new fan that came out like Kevin Hart came out of nowhere. Now he drives the Eagles mobile and he comes out. He done made songs.
uh-huh.
He ran them out the tunnel at the last game. You know,
Yeah, it is what it is with them. But I agree with you with Saquon. Um, I just want Saquon to win because I want the Giants to have to go through this to a whole off season, the start of preseason, through the draft, through everything until they put that banner up there. I want Saquon to win. I think I agree with you though. I want Saquon to win. I don't want the Eagles to win.
and
I
speaking
agree.
of
I
the
gotta agree.
draft,
Yeah.
what do you think about the Giants trading back?
Okay, hold that, because we're gonna get into that draft. We're gonna get into that draft in a little bit, but I don't want to spoil it. But I
But
definitely want
okay,
to give you my opinion on that.
back to the bowl. I mean, I think that the I think not Antonio Brown. I think Brown is going to have to be a difference maker. He's gonna have to step up his game. He can't go, like he had um, two catches, I think, for 40 yards and two catches for 60 yards, I think, in the NFC championship game. And the game before that, he had one catch for like 8 yards. You can't have those type of stats and call yourself um, the number one wide receiver.
But is it up to him though? I mean, Kellen Moore pulls the strings. obviously we know that Nick Sirianni is the head coach, and believe it or not, they have all these weapons, but the game goes through Saquon's legs, and it goes through my mic sounds terrible. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is my mic
But
okay?
yeah.
Okay. No, well, it has to go through Saquon's legs and Jalen Hurts' legs, and the 5-yard passes and the RPO game. The
And
RPO
you're
game.
you're 100% right, but they're gonna play the same style game that we played against them without the turnovers. They're gonna force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball. That
Yes.
that that's how you beat the Eagles. You force Jalen Hurts to beat you. Jalen Hurts is everybody wants to know why Jalen Hurts is not why he's not considered a top 10 quarterback. They say, well, I thought you judged quarterbacks by wins and losses. No, you don't. Just because you win the game doesn't mean that the quarterback played well. I mean, look at Trent Dilfer. He won a Super Bowl and he he didn't do a lot.
Well, no. I mean, if you look at the defense he had, I mean, and Trent
Yeah,
Dilfer, he
and
won
I
a Super
mean
Bowl.
that's kind of
He's
what
that
I
win Super
see.
Bowl.
Jalen Hurts as he's game
He's a
manager.
glorified game manager if you think about
Yeah,
it. But I mean, he has put it this way: he's a game manager with a little bit more seasoning to him. You understand what I'm saying? He's not.
he,
He's Trent Dilfer, but with a little bit of speed, in
more
my opinion.
athletic. Yeah, he's a more athletic Trent
More
Dilfer.
athletic, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that, though. There's nothing wrong with it. If he wins, is anybody going to still say he's a game manager, or are they going to say he's a Super Bowl champion?
I mean, they're gonna say he's a Super Bowl champion, but the rumblings is gonna be, he wants to consider himself a quarterback to be in the Hall of Fame. And he
He
he,
has.
he, he doesn't have that. I mean, winning Super Bowl doesn't guarantee you a yellow jacket.
This is true.
I mean, look at your boy. He got snubbed, and he sure should have been in before Sterling Sharp.
Okay, now you hit a nerve there because I am sharing the brain on you with the Sterling Sharp thing. Let's just speak truth here. Let's keep it 100, right? Sterling Sharp had some good numbers, but he didn't have the time.
Correct.
He won one Triple Crown, didn't win a Super Bowl, played like 5 or 6 seasons,
And was
and
injured.
everybody else just have better numbers. If the Hall of Fame is the best of the best, he didn't win a Super Bowl. His numbers ain't even close to anybody's that's relevant as far as wide receivers go. That's in the Hall of Fame today. I think
And I
Shannon
think
Sharp is the one that politicalized him to get in the Hall of Fame.
I think he bought that.
Yeah, he had to. And Stephen A. Smith backing it all the time, and his
But
crew of writers and stuff like that.
was he a Hall of Fame player? He could have been, but that's like putting Sean Taylor in the Hall of Fame. His career was cut too short. You never know.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. I mean, you got to look at the longevity of guys. I'm gonna pick a guy. He was a running back, one of the best running backs ever, Jim Brown. Jim Brown Hall of Fame numbers, man. He led the league in rushing for like 8 years in a row, or 6 years in a row. It is phenomenal.
I mean, Jim Brown, O.J. Simpson, and then the guy that came in after Jim Brown. I can't remember his name. He got hurt. They drafted him right after they drafted Jim Brown. And he went to the Browns. They made a movie about him. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But he played 2 or 3 seasons, phenomenal numbers, but had a catastrophic injury and was done.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't put guys in. I mean, seriously, right?
I just don't believe those. I just don't believe if you're judging off 5 or 6 years, he didn't finish his career. I can see if he retired early. That would be one thing. But
so go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
He didn't retire on top. He got hurt, and he was mid to top of the pack when he got hurt. Yes, but Shannon saying he was the better Sharp, and I would do anything to get my brother in. I would pay whoever I needed to pay to get my brother in, and do whatever I need to do. I just don't think his brother deserved it.
I'm not saying he paid, but I don't know. But I mean, just numbers alone and the way it works and the reason why the writers kept him out in the beginning it's all correct in my opinion. So, all right. So let's look at the 4 or 5 I think it was that got in. Eric Allen, Jared Allen. Who else?
Eric Allen, Jared
Brandon
Allen.
Starks. I'll look it up. 2025 Hall of Famers, Hall of Fame class. So let's look at these names here. You got they only got 4 people. So it's Eric Allen, Jared Allen,
Antonio Gates.
Out of everybody in this class, man, Antonio Gates surpasses them all. He was the prototypical, well, not the prototypical, basically he started the basketball tight ends in a way. You think about it.
He carried it to where everybody thought David Boston was going to take it to.
Yes, but for him to come in, and Marty Schottenheimer, I mean, may rest in peace. He actually had some foresight in this and was like, let me take this kid who's a basketball player. We don't have a lot of footage on him in college football.
He had 1 year. He only had 1 year of college football.
And how insane is that? That man is well deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. Jared Allen, I mean,
monster.
You like Jared Allen?
Monster. He made Minnesota.
Yeah, and he played on a lot of teams. Played on 3 or 4 teams, I believe it was in his career. In the end, he started traveling. Minnesota got rid of him, but
he's remembered from Minnesota. His days in Minnesota is where he made his career.
Yeah, Eric Allen. I mean, I remember his Philly days. They said he has 54 interceptions. Deion has less interceptions than him. I think he's just less. I'm not gonna say flamboyant. Hey, Miguel Vasquez, what's up, Mickey? He says Philly will be victorious. Enough said. All right, we got you. Mickey.
But Eric Allen, he was there. Was he there with Reggie and all those guys?
Reggie, what's his name?
Reggie White.
Reggie White, the Minister of Defense. Yeah, I believe he was there. Reggie White, Randall Cunningham, all those.
Yeah, so he was there with a defense that all he had to do was sit back and wait for the ball to come.
If it did at all.
Yeah.
They were stacking everybody. Seth Joyner. I mean, there was a lot of people.
I mean, that team, that if you want to talk about a Super Bowl team, that was a Super Bowl team.
Exactly.
That's a team that I would be okay winning the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. So we're going to transition from now. So we talked about something yesterday. And I told you need to bring some receipts with you if you're making that claim. So without further ado, produce this evidence and argument that
I made the statement.
Go ahead.
I made the statement that Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, and old boy from Florida,
Cam
Ward, are not going to live up to first, second, and third round picks. I don't see Travis Hunter. Yes, he is a generational college talent. Not going to knock his talent. He is talented. The man has done something no one else has done, and he played both ways in college.
And he excelled at it. You got to think about it. And won the Heisman Trophy. Playing in Colorado, not a very big school, but they made that school. I mean, they brought and the Heisman Trophy. Come on, man, you got to give him his props on it.
And I take nothing away from Travis. I love Travis's game. Do I think Travis's game is going to transition to the NFL? No.
Okay, explain why.
I don't think Travis is. I watched a lot of Colorado games. They're going to go at Travis in the NFL. Travis is not a real big guy.
Okay.
Travis is not physical either.
I agree with that. His physicality and he's very thin.
Yes.
Okay.
So, going up against guys like AJ Brown and CeeDee Lamb and a Scary Terry, I just don't see him holding up. I don't think his game transitions, and as a wide receiver, I don't even consider him on the lines of Devin Hester.
Okay.
Um,
Cam
I just
Ward.
he
Cam
doesn't.
Ward.
Yeah, Cam Ward. Cam Ward needs to go somewhere where he can sit.
Okay.
I see Cam Ward like I see Jordan Love.
Ain't no sitting in New York though.
He gonna have to go. He gonna have to go.
So,
He has to go somewhere where he can afford to sit for 3 or 4 years and learn the quarterback position. Cam has been around, but Cam hasn't had enough actual
how old
ball.
is he? I gotta look at how old. Because if he's 22 years old, he sits around for 4 years, he's 26. Okay. 26 years old now. His contract's up. It's a 5-year contract. He sits 4 years. They have to get that 5th-year option. So internally, the team has to see what he has on the field before they give him this 5th-year option, if he sits for 4 years. But go ahead.
Yeah. Shador. Shador Flash Sanders. Shador has an arm. I'm not gonna take anything away from Shador. I think the only way Shador is successful in the NFL is if Oakland drafts him.
And he goes with Tom Brady.
And he goes to Tom Brady because Tom Brady is going to make sure a system is built for him to be successful. They're going. Pete Carroll is very intuitive
Run
as a.
orientated. He's very run orientated.
Yep.
They like to
And
run
he's
the ball.
gonna
Until the
he's
Super
gonna
Bowl, the last play of the Super Bowl, he likes to throw it. But go ahead.
he's going to make sure that his quarterback doesn't take a lot of hits. And they're going to bring Russell Wilson in.
And you think they're going to bring Russell Wilson in? Okay, that's a possibility. I understand that. Okay. So
Because
is that your argument?
Shador's not ready to start either.
Okay, he needs to sit down. Okay.
No, I don't believe any of them are ready to come in day one and be an impact player.
A lot of rookies aren't, but I mean, there's some.
But when you're picked 1, 2, and 3, really name besides Joe Burrow, besides Daniels, besides RG3.
Yeah.
Name me. Name me a Heisman that came in rookie year and showed off.
So I just looked up something here, right? So it's crazy. Lamar Jackson didn't start until Joe Flacco was hurt. Now imagine Joe Flacco didn't get hurt week 9 in the 2018 season. Lamar Jackson's career would have probably been, because that's the year after they won. What did they win the Super Bowl? What, 2000? Was that 20? When did they win the Super Bowl?
2000.
2000. No, not the Ravens.
Oh no, with Lamar. With Lamar, they won it. They won it the year before he got there. They won the year he got drafted.
Lamar Jackson. So
the year they drafted him.
They won in 2013 and 2001. But if you look at that, that kind of bolsters your argument. But I got to counter you with this, right? So first of all, let's go with Shador Sanders. I do agree with you, the fact that Shador Sanders is small for the position. He's not mobile enough, in my opinion. He has to go to a team, I believe, like you said, the Raiders. The Raiders are the team that's going to have to draft him. And they're going to have to surround him with some people. And bringing Russell Wilson in isn't bad at all. I think that's actually a good idea to do that, to bring in Russell Wilson. Also, the fact that his arm is good, his arm strength isn't that great. He's very accurate, holds on to the ball a lot, so it has to be an offensive line friendly team he has to go to. The Giants draft him. It's not going to be good. That offensive line is porous at best. It's a turnstile offensive line. I don't think he goes to New York. But I do believe the Raiders thing is really, really, really good if they can get Russell Wilson in there, show him how to be a pro, show him nuances of the quarterback position. All right, moving on to Travis Hunter. I got to agree with you again on Travis Hunter, certain things. He's not physical. And in the NFL, you have to be a physical corner. You're going up against these big wide receivers. You already mentioned A.J. Brown. You got to go against Mike Evans. I mean, tall guys, CeeDee Lamb, quick guys. I don't see him being physical at the line of scrimmage. I think he's a cover 2 corner at best. Wide receiver, he's just too frail, in my opinion, to deal with those DBs who are actually DBs that can bump and run. You know,
So
you
I got
guys.
one more for you.
Go ahead.
He doesn't tackle.
And I never seen him tackle like a DB does. You are right about that.
So he gets beat on a slant. He gets beat on a slant, and that's it for him.
Yeah, because his physicality. We haven't seen that in college. Now, Cam Ward is something I got to disagree with you on. Cam Ward. Cam Ward is a talented guy. He's got the body, he's got the build, he's got the mindset, and he's got the arm. He can throw in cold weather, even though he played in Miami. He can throw in cold weather. I mean, the arm strength is there. He's very nifty in the pocket, and he has the ability to escape. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's more of a Patrick Mahomes with a little bit more boost, and he's bigger. He can throw from different angles. However, he does get in trouble sometimes trying to play superhero ball, but I believe you get him in there with you don't let him immediately start. You let him win the job. You know, he has to fight for the job. And you bring an all-pro in there, former, a bridge gap quarterback to help him out. So I say that to say this. A lot of things that I agree with you with, but however, team need, necessity, fan, and these teams are going to tell you that fan interaction or fans, feelings about stuff doesn't influence it. If the Giants don't draft a quarterback in number 3, it better be Abdul Carter.
So I'm going to tell you what. I love that pick. I love that pick at 3, Abdul Carter. Now, I got a question for you. Okay. And some people have said I'm crazy. I believe Raiders got the number 10 pick.
Yes.
The Giants trade back to 10, right?
You already lost me. Go ahead. You lost me already, though. Go ahead.
The Giants trade back to 10. They get an overhaul. They get an overhaul, though. They get some picks. They get an overhaul. Mm-hmm. Who would you take? Because I'm not sold on Jeffries either. The running back out of Boise.
We don't need him at 10. We already got a guy. I like our running game in New York. Our offensive line needs to get bolstered up, and our defensive line and cornerbacks. So definitely need a quarterback in the third round.
So at 10, do you go offense? So if you trade with, because you guys are going to be the trade bait. You guys are the ones who are going to trade with Vegas.
Okay.
So do you go after a lineman, or do you go and secure your defense by getting the cornerback out of Notre Dame at 10?
Benjamin Morrison? No.
Yep.
No. You got to get the best offensive lineman available or the best defensive tackle. If the best defensive tackle is still Mason Graham out of Michigan, you get him. If the best tackle is still there, you get him. We can get cornerback in the second round. Plus,
tackle's going to be there. Tackle's going to be there at 10 because I think this is going to be the run's going to be on wide receiver, quarterback, cornerback.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to pause it right there for that because that's going to tie into our next show where we're going to have our draft. We do our yearly draft on Speak on the Sports, myself and T Know It All. We're going to go through PFF's whole deal there, and we're going to do our online draft again, brother. That was excellent stuff we did the year before. Love to do that again with you. PFF, only thing I have a gripe with you is there's no way right now that Jalen Milroe is better than Jackson Dart. I don't know why you guys haven't changed that yet in there. They gave me a C+ when I picked Jackson Dart at 118 when Jalen Milroe was there at 103. I just think
Milroe is another. Milroe goes to Kansas City.
It goes to Kansas City for what? Is he a wide receiver / tight end?
Nope.
He ain't backing up Mahomes.
He goes. He's not putting pressure. He goes to learn and to sit and to be
trade bait.
But he has to get good though.
Yes.
He has to learn the game. He's just like the dude that Green Bay went and got. New England trying to make him a wide receiver. And Green Bay went and got him and brought him back to quarterback. And look at him. He's
well, you got to look at also this thing, right? a lot of these kids that are coming in the NFL, and we'll transition to the game after this, is the fact that the NFL is working on an 18-game season, right? And with 18 games comes less preseason games. When are these kids going to get in there and start playing against real live, not talent, not first-tier talent, but just NFL caliber people when there's only 2 preseason games? And one of those games got to be to get your starter ready at the end of the season, that one last game or that first game. The first preseason game. So one preseason game is not going to show me a lot about a rookie.
So I'm gonna transition us back over to the Super Bowl, and I got a question for you.
I may have an answer.
How much of a distraction is Kellen Moore being hired by the Saints when the Super Bowl is in New Orleans?
Now that is an outstanding question because they've been meeting all up to this point. Did that affect his preparation on the team? But I think the NFL has things in place to where, and he can just say, hey, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be there. But as far as, the distraction goes, the media knows this. They've been asking him questions at media day. I think it's a big deal, man. I think it's a big deal to have your guys, your offensive coordinator's mind at another organization during the most critical time.
Is he down there? Is this family down there looking at houses? You're moving down there. You're already in the city. Are you
Yep.
scoping out the city and scoping out where you want to be? Are you talking to the people? Like, how much of a distraction is this for him?
I think it's a great question. I think it's a real distraction, and I think a lot of people ain't talking about it, but they know it's there. It is a real distraction. And if AJ Brown doesn't get that ball early and often, we're gonna see him on the sidelines reading that book. It's gonna be something afterwards. Was Kellen Moore more interested in going to the Saints while he's in New Orleans than actually taking the victory in New Orleans and hoisting the Lombardi Trophy? Where was his mindset at? So that's a good point. That's a good question. Good question. So when you look at this game, I mean, everybody is always going to talk about the referees and how Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they always tend to get the calls. Is it the referees that are going to change this game, or is it just going to be strictly the Chiefs basically out? What's the word I'm looking for?
So here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And this game, I'm going to quote Gilbert Arenas on it.
Oh God.
Gilbert Arenas said, "If you want to take the games out the referees' hands, then run the score up so they can't make an impact."
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He said there was plenty of games in the NBA that were fixed. He said the only way we knew we were going to win is if we ran the score up and they weren't and their calls weren't going to impact us.
And that's just playing to the end of the whistle, play to the end of the game. But if we looked at these two teams, they always play each other close. It always comes down to maybe a sailed pass by Jalen Hurts over Devontae Smith's head, or in the ground, in the dirt, a running play, or a Patrick Mahomes turnover, or a 4 downs, a team stops you. It's always going to come down to that. I think it's a game where it's going to be one of those plays. The team holding the ball last, driving down, is most likely going to be in a position to win the game.
Yeah, I think the Eagles' downfall is going to be trying to watch film of Mahomes.
Yes.
And watching film of Mahomes is like watching film on Daniels, like watching film on Lamar, like watching film almost on Jalen Hurts, almost. You never know where these guys are going to be. You never know what these guys are going to do. These guys are playmakers. They, out of the pocket, they move the ball. Mahomes is the key to stopping Mahomes is stopping his little 5 and 6 yard scrambles that he gets.
That's what I was just about to ask you. How big is his running ability going to be in this game? Because I think it's going to be a huge factor for, they're in the 3rd and 4 and they're thinking they're passing. You think they're going to put a spy out on Mahomes? They're in 3rd and 4?
I don't think you can, because you spy him and Brown is back.
Yes.
There's no one on the Eagles. There's no one on the Eagles have a good secondary.
But they can't cover everybody.
There's no one on the Eagles that can catch Brown. Brown takes off on a 9 route. He's gone.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And I think I think the Eagles aren't prepared for the weapons that they have. Val Scantley, Brown. I think D Hop shows up.
Now D Hop's going to be that guy. He's 20 yards and into the end zone guy. He's a very big possession receiver, big hands. I look at him doing a slant, cuffing the ball, or a toe tap out of bounds. That guy's going to be good. But don't sleep on Kareem Hunt. I think Kareem Hunt's going to play a big part in this game.
Pacheco's back also. So I mean, Kansas City is loaded. I mean, they're you have what's his name? The third running back. I want to say Pierce, but that's not his name.
No, he's talking about P-Ron. Yes, P-Ron is very good.
And you're very familiar with him.
He played with the Bengals.
He played with them, yeah. So it's I just I just think that it's going to be. I mean, I think Kansas City has enough weapons, and I think Kansas City is going to keep them on their toes. And I think Kansas City is going to take a lot away from the Washington game. I think they're going to take stuff away from the Dallas game. I think they looked at film to take stuff away from certain games, and I think Kansas City is going to run a fast tempo offense.
Okay.
I think they're going to put those big defensive tackles and those big DNs, on their heels. And if you give Patrick Mahomes a lane, he's going to take it.
Yep. And you gotta and one thing you have Jalen Carter wreck this game. You gotta make him make decisions. He's gonna rush the quarterback or rush the running back.
Stop. And Mahomes is very smart. Mahomes doesn't slide early, and that's why he gets his calls. And people get mad about that. But Mahomes will slide the last minute.
I'm telling you, I just think there's gonna be some pressure on these refs not to make some calls, and some calls are not gonna be made that should be made. But we'll see. Hey, some quick breaking news. I don't know if you heard about this. So you got Tyreek Hill. He did an interview. Tyreek Hill basically stated in an interview that, and I'm paraphrasing here a little bit, that he basically he doesn't want to go to the Super Bowl because he doesn't want to see the Chiefs. Not that he hates them, because he misses being a Chief, and that he may have made the wrong decision for chasing the money to Miami. He got that 4-year, $121 million deal, $72 million guaranteed, versus staying with the Chiefs and taking like $5 million less. He would have won another Super Bowl, and he would have probably been on his third Super Bowl in a row right now.
Now,
what do you think about it? He just apologized to his teammates too. Let me put that out there.
Speaking of Tyreek Hill, I wouldn't be surprised if you see him back in Kansas City.
I don't know. I hear rumors about Cooper Kupp. And I think it's better to have a great possession guy that runs his routes well than just a speed guy.
But I don't even think they're going to be the top tier of the wanted. I think nothing moves until Myles Garrett moves.
Don't get me to thinking, because I know what you're talking about with Myles Garrett. In other breaking news, check this out. The New York Jets, it's been reported by Ian Rappaport, Rap Sheet, the fact that the New York Jets are not bringing back Aaron Rodgers. What do you think about that?
Smartest move they could do.
So all the stuff. Now look what he left in his wake right now. He's got all these people on the team. He brought in Devontae Adams, and they move him out. Does Devontae move out as well, or does he stay with the Jets?
He has to stay. His contract can't go nowhere.
Okay.
The dead cap money will kill him. Now, I got another one for you. Okay. I got another breaking news for you.
All right.
Debo Samuels was told he could seek a trade.
Okay. Debo Samuels
from the Niners. He was told he could seek a trade.
Yes, Debo Samuels did. The team allowed him to seek a trade. I did hear about that. But to tell you the truth, I don't think Debo's. Where can Debo? Okay, hold on. Debo in Kansas City is a great thing. I ain't gonna lie. Little end arounds with him. Oh, slants.
I'm gonna tell you where I don't want to see him go, and I'm gonna tell you where he fits at.
Don't say the Eagles.
Yep, you move AJ Brown, and you get Debo.
Yeah, AJ Brown's a thicker guy. I think his hands are better than Debo's.
But you're
They
not
got to
bringing
bring in
Debo.
another guy though.
But
I think they,
You're bringing Debo in for blocking support, for short yard passes, for end rounds. You're bringing Debo in to fit more of your offense because you're running more now. When you got Saquon, that's a three-headed monster. You line Debo. You run a wing T and you put Saquon, Debo, and Hurts back there.
I got another scenario for you. The Giants are losing Darius Slayton. Slayton has been a very good wide receiver. He just hasn't had a quarterback. Imagine Slayton in Philly, or better yet, in KC. He's a good route runner. I mean, if you think about it, it could be dangerous out there in KC because if you look what they do, they get defense, cornerbacks, and they get wide receivers for Patrick Mahomes. They build their team around his great traits and his abilities. If you look at what they do with Patrick Mahomes, they had Sky Moore, they even had Kadarius Toney, they had Tyreek Hill. I mean, it's all centered around Patrick Mahomes' skill set.
Now I got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you give up the 32nd pick to the New York Jets for a corner?
Which one?
You know which one I'm talking about.
You talking about Benjamin Morrison again?
No.
I really like Benjamin Morrison. You talking about what corner?
For the Jets.
Oh, you talking about Sauce?
Yeah, Sauce Gardner.
I mean, if he stays in New York, I mean, he's right there. He's in the same building.
You send Kansas City send their first round pick over for Sauce.
Hey, that ain't a bad thing. That ain't a bad thing. 32nd for Sauce Gardner, but I don't think they bite on that. I don't think they bite on that unless they want to do a complete rebuild. The defense is okay. It's the offense that needs help, in my opinion. And it's
a rebuild. You got new coaching staff. You got new everything. It's going to be a full rebuild. It's a teardown.
Yeah, I mean, it could be tear down with some options. You know,
yeah,
it could be tear down with some options. They could try to salvage something to be good, but it all starts with the quarterback. I don't think you blow up the defense just yet. You got guys that are really good, young guys, but they have to do what Philly did. They got look at those guys. They got Quinyon Mitchell, and they got the other kid, number 33. I forgot his name, but he look at these. These are rookies that are playing pivotal positions on their team and winning and excelling.
Now, does Dallas blow up?
Yeah, you got to blow whatever that is. You blow Dallas up. I don't care what it is. You snatch it down and seriously, no, you don't blow it up. But you got to pay people. You got to pay. You got to get rid of Zach Martin because he's older. You got to get a better guard.
He's gone. He's I think Zach's retiring.
Or he's gonna.
Yeah, I think Zach's retiring. But do you trade? Do you let CeeDee Lamb get traded?
No, they CeeDee Lamb already got money. They already put money into CeeDee Lamb.
They put money into him, but they only got 3 pieces.
I got you, but this is the thing. Dak is eating up a chunk of his guaranteed money. You can't trade him unless some sucker team decides to take him. Take on
Jacksonville.
All right, he said Jacksonville. And you got what are they going to do with Trevor Lawrence?
I think he's gone.
They already paid him already.
I think he's gone too, though.
And plus, you got Micah Parsons. You gotta pay Micah Parsons.
And I'm hoping they don't. I'm hoping Micah Parsons doesn't sign.
I hope they pay him because I want them to be in cap hell. Because that's like Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, and Troy Aikman. That's the big 3. Except the running back position is just fodder right now because the running backs in the NFL. I mean, Saquon is making it a lot better now, but running backs are a dime a dozen. That's what they say. So.
And Saquon picked up the running back market.
Absolutely, he did.
Old boy in New York made it look good. What was his name? They used to be with the Packers.
Oh boy, he's with you talking about Aaron Jones, but what's his name he used to be with the Raiders. He's with the Packers now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cooks made it look good.
And look, James Cook, he's still on his rookie deal.
And he came on late. He came on late in the season.
He is an outstanding running back. So, and very versatile. That's the thing they have there. So All right, with this game today, a lot of people's talking about this game. A lot of people see Saquon Barkley. You know that the Kansas City Chiefs, Steve Spagnuolo, former New York Giants defensive coordinator, baby, right, has not allowed a 100-yard rusher in the last 18 games.
He will today.
Okay, Saquon gonna get over 100 yards.
I think Saquon. I think he gets
purpose.
Oh, he definitely gets over 100 all purpose. I see him getting close to the 100-yard mark. He's gonna break. He's gonna break two. I think that the tush push isn't really going to be a factor because I think Chris Jones is big enough to get down low.
Oh no! That tush push is gonna be working today. It's gonna be just like the first game, in my opinion. That tush push is gonna work, but they're gonna try it too many times and they're gonna fail at one time. And it's gonna be in the red zone. They're gonna fail it.
And it stopped. Teams have stopped it. Teams that they have played over and over have stopped it.
Well, you got to look what the Chiefs did last in the AFC Championship game. You got two different. He runs that thing to perfection. Jalen Hurts. His legs. He squats 600 pounds. Josh Allen doesn't do that. That's why they failed.
But Josh Allen always goes to the exact same spot every time.
Yeah, and you gotta watch the tush push, right, or the brotherly shove, whatever you want to call it. Jalen Hurts allows the line to move first. He gets the ball. He doesn't move immediately. It takes like a split second, and then he pushes, and then the people behind him push him over.
And I think the biggest key is punching that ball out.
Yes. You see what Washington did. Washington almost awarded the Eagles a touchdown because Washington just said, we just got to try to do something to stop it.
Oh, yeah, we was going to take that. We was going to take that. We wasn't worried about that. It was already – we was just trying to,
Yeah. I was watching that game. I was like, can you really just give a team a touchdown?
Yeah.
That was crazy. So
it's only happened once, and it was in like the 30s.
Yep. I agree. So looking at this game, give me your three factors of why the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win, and then we'll transition over to the Chiefs and why.
The only way the Eagles win is Saquon has a big day.
Big day. Explain a big day.
Oh, he has to have over 100 rushing.
100 rushing.
102 touchdowns minimum.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts has to throw for 200.
I don't know. I don't know if he throws for 200. It's going to be Dallas Goedert. They might hit one or two deep ones today, in my opinion.
Jalen Hurts has to throw for 200 yards. Anything less than 200, they don't win.
Give me the third one.
A.J. Brown has to show up.
So it's the offense. It's the
offense because Cooper DeJean and all those guys, they're going to do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta give it up for the Caucasian cornerback. There's only been 6 in the whole NFL. One was on the Giants, and he did his thing.
Yeah, Michael Irvin don't never like mentioning him, but that's fine. Okay, now let's flip it. All right, give me the Chiefs' top 3 reasons they'll win this Super Bowl.
Kelce has to have a big game.
Travis Kelce, okay, big game. He goes over 100.
Over 100. Yeah, 7 catches over 100 yards, at least 1 touchdown. He has to be big in the red zone, so 1-2 touchdowns. No turnovers.
Yes, no turnovers.
And the defense has to win the defense has to win the turnover battle and stop Saquon.
So we're looking at stopping Saquon. Okay.
So I'm not even gonna say they have to stop Saquon. Because you don't really stop Saquon, and it was been shown that you have to make Jalen Hurts beat you, and that's what they have to do. They have to slow Saquon Barkley down, but they have to make sure that Jalen Hurts sits in the pocket and beats them, or you get enough hits on Jalen Hurts because I think he's just getting healthy.
I haven't seen him run a lot. I think in my opinion, Jalen Hurts has it in his mind, and he's not going to admit it. If you see it, that he wants to prove people wrong. He can throw the ball because ever since he came back, you notice he's not running like he used to.
He got popped in Washington, and he is not running.
Yeah. So Okay. I think we're seeing a brain on the Kansas City side. But let me ask you this one question before I give you my summation of the game and the top 3 reasons. Why is it that nobody, and it might be the rules in the NFL right now, why isn't anyone on defense hitting the quarterback during that mesh point, regardless if they have the ball or not? Let them know. Remember that? You know what I'm talking about when they do that RPO?
Yes, because when you hit them at the mesh point, you hit them high.
So it's probably they don't want to get penalized.
And they're calling the penalty. So if you notice that a lot of quarterbacks they're not getting taken to the ground and they're evading. Guys aren't hitting them and taking them to the ground like they used to, and they're getting loose and they're making plays down the field because guys are scared to get these 15-yard penalties. And these roughing the passers are 15 and 30 and 90 grand for these guys.
Yes. I figured it was something because right now the defense is at a disadvantage. And before the show, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna set this up because I want to talk about how we can give the defense back some advantages or just build them up a little bit because the offense right now, all the calls are towards the offense. I'll give you my
let them hit
defensive thing here. But I totally agree with you on that.
Guys aren't scared to go over the middle no more.
Mm-hmm.
Your hitters, Dawkins, Taylor, Ed Reed, they couldn't play in this game. Ray Lewis, Fletcher, these guys couldn't play in this game.
Oh, they'd be fine. They'd be fine out there, Wazoo there.
They'd be fine out the Wazoo. The big hitters can't. The big hitters are gone.
Yep. And I think the NFL spaced them out. 512-539-0648. Call in to be a part of the program. Talk to myself, G Money, and T Sizzle. We're talking about Super Bowl 59, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Who you got? Who's your team? So we were discussing your top 3. I'm gonna give you mine. I'm gonna start with the Kansas City Chiefs first. Kansas City Chiefs, in my opinion, the offensive line has to stay solid. And they're gonna have to run a little bit of the ball. They can't pass all day long. They're gonna have to break some runs. And I think that's where Patrick Mahomes' legs comes into. Also, Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce's gonna have to make those first downs. He's gonna have to get in between the linebackers and make those short first downs and help out Patrick Mahomes. Defensively on that team, they have to be able to get to Jalen Hurts. All right, they're gonna have to get to Jalen Hurts a couple times, and they got to look out for him running the ball as well. I'm not so worried about the tush push. That's gonna happen. 4th and 1, they're gonna do that. But limit Saquon, just like you said. Let Hurts win this game with his arm. And oh shoot, I blended them in. Hold on a second there. Let me go to the Eagles right now. So the Eagles, for them to win, just let Saquon do his thing. Let Saquon do his thing, make timely throws, and he's gonna have to run the ball on offense. Defensively, they got to cause some turnovers. They got to get to Patrick Mahomes. You saw what Tampa Bay did to Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl. They just kept having waves and waves of blitzers come at Patrick Mahomes. And they got to Patrick. And they got him to the ground. And Jalen Hurts is going to have to make some throws. He's going to have to make some throws. Spagnola's going to he has the corner blitz. That corner blitz.
Now, I agree with you. They're going to have to get to Patrick Mahomes. But I think Patrick Mahomes his weapons have upgraded since that Tampa Bay game.
Oh yeah, most definitely. They didn't have a lot of
receivers. I think the receivers are more deadly and they have more speed on the outside. They have, Hopkins still got some speed. Valdez still got some speed. They got all their guys on the outside got speed.
They got Worthy 4-2-1.
Worthy, me personally, I would run Scantling in the middle, Hopkins intermediate, Brown down the sideline, Worthy down the sideline, and Kelce and Kelce right to dead center of the field.
Now, do you think the offensive line is going to hold up enough? Because Patrick's going to hold onto the ball and try to do stuff. He's going to take that long drop back.
I don't need him to. I'm just throwing the ball to Worthy. My first shot is going to be to Worthy.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson's out there, man, roaming the field out there.
Yeah, but can CJ Gardner? He got to be deep.
I think they run a high-low to get CJ Gardner-Johnson, who's going to be in the safety position. You run something high by him, and then you have something lower come in, and somebody's sitting there.
But you're gonna have Gardner's gonna have to deal with Kelsey. He's gonna have to respect Kelsey if Kelsey sits in the middle of the field in front of him to pick him up.
That's gonna draw him up. And they're gonna hit him deep.
Yeah, and you have to respect Worthy. You got to get deep. Worthy gonna get by you.
No doubt.
But can Worthy catch the ball though?
No doubt. I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. So, how do you think the Super Bowl halftime show is going to go? Is They Not Like Us going to be played, or
sure
is Kendrick going to have mercy on Drake and say,
"No, he's not.
I'm not going to do that."
He's not. But so the line, so it's all about the line where he says certified pedophile.
Yeah.
And I think the crowd is going to say it for him.
A minor.
Yep. I think the crowd's going to say it for him. Because all he's going to do, you let the crowd, the crowd's going to be singing, you let the crowd say it.
Yeah. And I think he's got to change the song up. Some N-words in there going to have to be brother or something like that, whatever. But if he plays that song, it's gonna effectively. I mean, he ended Drake's little thing going on right now. But if he plays this at the Super Bowl, because guess what? Everybody in the world is watching this game and that halftime show, ready to hear it. They're not like us.
So speaking of halftime shows, what do you think about Jello playing the NBA All-Star halftime show?
Jello?
Yeah.
I hope you're not talking about old boy's kid.
Yeah, Jello Ball.
No.
Oh, he's hot right now. He got a camp. He got a joint with Lil Wayne. He got a top 10 song right now.
I'm not interested in nothing he's doing.
Yeah, he's switched over to rapping, and he got a little skill on the mic, but he ain't rapping about his life because they didn't live that type of life.
Exactly. He can't be rapping about that stuff. That's crazy. But go ahead.
What's the pick today?
So, okay. My pick today is, well, hold on. It's kind of rough. Okay. It's kind of rough for me because I know that the Philadelphia Eagles have a better team and they should win this game. However, I look on the sideline, I see Andy Reid and I see Steve Spagnuolo and I see Patrick Mahomes, and I'm like, I just can't go against that much knowledge of the game. Kellen Moore's good, Nick Sirianni's good, Vic Fangio's good, but those guys are just better.
So why do you believe Philly has the better team?
I look at talent-wise. I'm just talent-wise on that team. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, the offensive line and defensive line. The offensive line is way better on Philly. They got pros on there, Jason Mailata, Lane Johnson, the center. I forgot his name. But, the Chiefs, they had to remove one of their guards out to left tackle. I mean, I know that's a good thing. He's versatile. But then you take away from the middle, and then you got Jalen Carter. You got other guys. That defensive front is just so active. It's going to be a thorn in the side of Mahomes. But I just think the Chiefs get it done, man. I think the Chiefs get it done. I think it's like a field goal missed by Philly, and the Chiefs get the ball and they drive down and they win the game, in my opinion.
So you said Philly has better talent, but KC has a better coaching staff.
Absolutely.
So speaking of Philly coaching staffs.
Hold on. Let's do this even better. All right. Let's put a finger up for okay, let's do this. Who has the better quarterback? Obviously, KC, right?
KC.
Who has the better running back?
Philly.
Okay. Who has the better offensive line?
Philly.
Okay. Who has the better defensive line? Philly. Okay. Who has better corners? Philly. Okay.
I don't know on that one. I don't
You
know on
got
that
come
one.
on. Who has okay? Secondary. You got Slay. You got C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You got the Caucasian sensation out there.
You do, but Kansas City doesn't get beat a lot.
I know, but that's why I'm telling you, it's the coaching, the quarterback. If you look at tight end right now, Dallas Goedert, it's okay. He's not no Travis Kelce in the route, but he can still run a route.
But really, let's break that statement down. Really, what is Travis Kelce? Is Travis Kelce really that good? He's not fast.
He was. That's okay. Look at Jason Witten. Jason Witten that man was a refrigerator in cleats, and he was always wide open.
Yeah, but Jason Witten ran though. He would break away. Jason Witten was 10, 12 years tough.
He was not fast, dude. Jason Witten was not fast. He was
not fast. He was not fast, but he was able to get away though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was body.
Elusive. Travis Kelce, he did it for a couple of seasons, but he just hasn't done it again.
I agree. Like I said, he's getting a little older, man. I mean, you got Taylor Swift. He's only 20. He's only what, 28?
Yeah,
he's only 28 years. 28 years. I know that's old in the NFL,
but it's not though. But look at his body though. He's not. I don't believe he's taking care of himself like he used to. I don't believe he invested himself like he used to invest.
Actually, he's not 28. He's 35, bro.
Kelce's 35.
He's 35. He's same age as Taylor Swift.
Kelce's 30. Kelce does not seem like he's been in the league that long.
He's 35, man. Hold on.
Because Mahomes is only. I guess you're right because he was there. He was there with Alex Smith.
Yo, so he's been in the league since 2000. Hold on. 2013.
And so he wasn't killing it. And he wasn't killing it then.
12 years.
And he wasn't killing it then.
He wasn't killing it. So it's the quarterback that made him better. So that's what I say. I look at the quarterback position. Kansas City has an advantage. The coaching staff, Kansas City has an advantage. Now, we're not even talking about special teams. We're not even talking about special teams.
Kansas City schemes better with the players that they have.
Yes, absolutely. And the scheme comes from the
the coaches. Now,
the coaches. There you go. I told you it's coaching.
Now, if Sirianni, if Nick gets out coached and they get blown out, does he get fired?
I mean, I don't think. You brought your team to the Super Bowl. You don't get fired for bringing your team to the Super Bowl and losing. You get fired for not bringing your team to the playoffs. Well, apparently it doesn't because the Giants don't do it and they keep everybody. But that's neither here nor there. You don't get fired. He's not going to get fired. Will there be a lot of rumblings from now if they lose this game until the beginning of the season? Matter of fact, going into week probably 6, if their record is like maybe 3-3 or 2-4 next year, who knows? But I don't think he gets fired. I look at is it a disappointment for them? Absolutely, it's a disappointment because one, you didn't go for the record with Saquon, right? Saquon didn't get that rushing record, and you lose the Super Bowl over 100 yards. Come on, man. What do you have to hang your hat on the season besides saying, hey, you know what? We had a good season. Or you could have said, hey, we got that rushing record with Saquon. That's part of history. Got to win the Super Bowl, man. For all of that to become more than just losing the game at the end. You got to win the Super Bowl for them.
So what's the score for the game?
All right, so my score, we got about a minute left anyway. We're going to go a little over in the show, but my score in this game, and I said it before, it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be 41-38. 41-30. It's going to be some scoring in this game. 41-38. But check it out. At halftime, the Eagles are going to be winning at halftime. They're going to be up like 21-17, or they're going to be up on KC. And I think KC's going to come out because they're going to win the coin toss. And they're going to come out and they're going to do their thing. They're going to do their thing, and they're going to win by 3 points. And it's going to be it's not going to go to overtime. I think it's going to be tied up, and Philly makes a mistake. Kansas City gets the ball back, and Harrison Buckner, boom, 51, 52-yard field goal, Game's over. 48. I say 48-52. Game's over.
Woo.
What say you?
I got Kansas City winning by 12.
Okay.
I believe that Hurts is gonna get pressured.
Yes.
And he's gonna make a bad pick trying to force a comeback.
Mm.
He's gonna make a bad throw trying to force them back into the game.
Hiding, fuck a caption, won't action, no accident.
And,
no hands on, he fuck around.
I'm gonna go one better though.
Yeah.
I believe that both defenses may score today.
Both defenses are going to score today.
I believe so.
Okay. Because that's what happened last time. Jalen Hurts fumbled. Bolton ran the ball in for a needed touchdown because they were struggling heavily. And I think that turned the tide of the game. So
I know that if Mahomes has the ball with under 3 minutes and it's a close game,
I'm picking Mahomes all day.
Philly might as well go ahead and pack the bags up because there's only a few quarterbacks in the league that I'm going to roll with under the 3 minute mark.
Okay, so real quick before we go, man, it's been great. I can't wait for this game. We know we're going to have we're going to talk about this after this game, but how do you feel? Kansas City's up by 4. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. Philly has 1 timeout. They got to go 80 yards. You believe in Jalen Hurts to win the game for you?
No.
You said that too quick.
No, because Kansas City goes, they go 0.
Cover 0?
Yeah, they go into a modified cover 0 where they rush Hurts.
You don't think he breaks off a run or something like that?
I'll take that run, but that run's gonna burn up clock.
Yep. So I'm seeing a brain with you. It's just one dude, 3 guys, and it goes like this. It goes, I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1. Joe Montana with 2 minutes and some change left. Hell, 4. Hold on. Eli Manning, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, and Pat Mahomes. I mean,
I can agree there.
Because those are the guys, those are the quarterbacks I don't want with the ball. And it's 2 minutes left. They got 1 timeout and they driving for the end of the game. I watched Joe Montana do it in the Super Bowl versus the Bengals. So I throw to John Taylor, game over. I've watched Eli Manning do it to Tom Brady twice. And I watched Tom Brady do it a numerous amount of times. Last one he did was with the Atlanta Falcons when they came back from 28-3 at halftime. And Pat Mahomes is the dude, man. He's done it against the Bills. He's done it against the Bengals. He's done it against Philly. He's that dude that does.
I'm glad you mentioned the Bills before we cut out. I'm gonna make a comparison and you tell me if it's true.
Okay.
Who is the new age Jim Kelly?
The new age Jim Kelly. It's only a couple of guys out there besides the top 4. I mean, you got Lamar, you got Allen, you got Burrow, and you got Mahomes. Okay. Then it gets to a second tier of people after that. Okay. You have definitely a kid from Houston, CJ, what's his name? CJ Stroud. All right. And then you have Jordan Love. Okay. And then there's another guy in there. I'm forgetting who it is, but it's probably the guy we're talking about.
So I'm gonna say Allen's a new age Jim Kelly.
Well, he's Jim Kelly on steroids. Jim Kelly never ran. Jim Kelly could not run. He's a statue. But I like his arm. I think he's more of the new age Brett Favre, actually.
I can see that.
Yeah, because they got that arm.
Lamar Jackson's Randall Cunningham.
I see the athleticism. I see Lamar has more playmaking ability. I'm not going to say his legs are better. I mean, yeah, he had more accuracy. Joe Burrow to me is like that new Montana,
Yep.
but a little taller.
Yep.
What's his name is, and you got to look at John Elway, right? Patrick Mahomes is a mixture of Elway, and a little bit of. It's weird when I say this guy's name, Fran Tarkenton. You know how Fran used to run a lot.
Yeah.
Run around.
Here's who I compare him to though. I like the Elway, but I do Elway and
Ben.
Steve Young.
Yes. Okay, Steve Young. I get the correlation because he's left-handed, but put Steve
Yep.
Young as a right-hander and let him run around. I like that. I like that concept. I like
CJ Stroud, to me, is Doug Flutie.
Taller Doug Flutie. I look at him more of a
But it's
that
almost
guy?
hard for me because, CJ Stroud, I think he's more talented.
I look at CJ Stroud as more of a more athletic Warren Moon.
I can see that.
Yeah.
He's
He's a more athletic Warren Moon.
I look at Russell Wilson as just being somebody who throws prayers up and just hopes that somebody catches it.
Yeah, he's a prayer warrior. He's definitely
Yeah.
a prayer warrior. So 512-539-0648. Hey man, I appreciate us. I appreciate you. The program has always been fire. We definitely put out our NFL draft. We're gonna do that again.
We got some draft stuff to talk about because there are some coaches that are back in the NFL.
I know, and there's a lot of people off my Notre Dame roster that got
Well, you got
snatched up.
Eric the Enemy's back.
I don't know how he needs to stay in college and get his rep up.
He's the running backs coach for the Browns.
How you go from the offensive coordinator for the championship Kansas City Chiefs to an offensive coordinator in college to a what now?
Running backs coach.
Running backs coach.
Yep.
Where?
The Bears.
In the Bears? Yeah. Talk about a fall from grace. Should have stuck around there and tried to do what he needed to do, but also he probably need to interview better. I heard his interviews was not good. That's what I heard.
The players don't like him. I heard coming out of Washington, the players didn't like him. He tries to
belittle people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta have some humility. Even though you're in the power position, you gotta treat people as you want them to treat you.
They say they compare him to a 70s coach.
Yeah, he's that. Do your job, shut up, be seen and not heard type thing.
Yep.
Okay, cool, man. Last thing before we go, man. What is the Super Bowl food looking like at your house right now? What are you doing for the Super Bowl? I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. I'm making some dip. Tostitos dip, and I'm dipping it out. I know it's more fun at your crib. What you doing?
So I've been a little under. So I got some crab cakes I did up. Mini crab balls.
You a little under with crab cakes, but go ahead.
Yeah, I got little mini crab balls. I'm gonna put them on some crackers with some coleslaw on top, little slider. We got some wings. Got some beans.
Now hold on. You said beans. Now I'm gonna ask you one question. If you got beans, what's in your beans? And I know
I didn't do them, but I know I think they're baked beans with ground beef and peppers in them.
You better have the ground beef in them, mother joker. My wife makes a mean pot of beans, man.
Yeah, my son loves baked beans, and I never put the beef in them like that until a few years ago when I started doing it, and he loves it.
Man, it's a game changer. It is a game changer. I'm telling you.
But not too much. Not like normal years.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the next time we talk, we're going to be talking about some the NFL draft. We're going to have everything prepared for that. We're going to answer any questions we have. We're going to break down our top 10, or we can do our top 25 players. We'll talk about it a little later on that, but that's what we need to do. Let's do a top 25 list with your big board of players that you think are the top 25 in the draft. And I'll do mine, so we'll go ahead and do that as well. So
yeah, it'd be a little different for us this year because we're not picking in the top 10 this year.
Oh, you got jokes.
We may not be picking in the first round this year, so it's okay.
Hey, y'all, that's the way you want to be at. You want to be at the point where you're not up in the top 5 of the draft, top 10, because you're winning, and you guys are winning. Great job on your quarterback winning Rookie of the Year. Hell, he should have probably won Offensive Player of the Year too. The way he was playing.
I get it to Saquon. I thought Saquon was deserving. I thought all the awards were good. I liked the MVP award. I did not think Lamar deserved
I did not like it. There's no way. What is it? Is it the most valuable player on the team or the most valuable player in the NFL?
So I believe it's the most valuable player on the team.
That's not, because why is everybody else in it? It should be a team award then.
So I'm gonna say the most valuable player, but you have to have an impact on your team to be the most valuable player. So it may not necessarily be your team, but who has the biggest impact on their team winning?
So take Lamar off that team and take Josh Allen off that team too and put in another quarterback. It kind of makes sense. But I look at how they and I kind of believe it now that you brought up that point, I kind of believe it. You take Josh Allen off that team is not the same. If you take Lamar Jackson off the team, they're not going to be the same team, but they'll still be okay. They'll win. But you take Josh Allen off the Bills, ain't nobody winning no games.
They won with Flacco. They won with Flacco. They picked up what's his name? I forget his name. He's been around the NFL for forever. Came in for 2 games and played off the street. Heck, they won a game where the dude threw 7 yards passing and ran the ball. He's down in Miami now. He's so irrelevant. I can't even remember his name.
Let's just call him Mr. Irrelevant. But
yeah,
okay.
You know what I mean. But
I definitely agree with you that.
But
the only thing that's a little puzzling to me is the fact that Lamar, each year he's won, he surpassed last year's stats on that team. He's thrown for 4 interceptions. He threw for 4,700 yards, and he's racked up 1,000 yards rushing each season as that. I mean, it's just phenomenal what he's doing. I think the voters, in my opinion, they got a little bit of Lamar fatigue, but they didn't do that when they had Aaron Rodgers, who won 4 in a row. So,
but Aaron Rodgers, you took Aaron Rodgers off that team, and I don't believe the team was as good. Now with Lamar, Lamar has a knock on him. Lamar can't consistently beat Allen. He can't consistently beat Mahomes. He can't win the games he needs to win.
He cannot. That's the thing that's troubling to me with him. But that's why
Lamar doesn't make the best decisions when the game is on the line. Now, I'm not going to knock Lamar for the drop ball that my man dropped in the goal line, because I mean, not only was it a bad ball that he threw, but it was still catchable. Yes,
it was still. I looked at that too, because if you looked at that play, Lamar kind of doubled. He was going to throw it once, and then he threw it the last time, and I think it went a little lower. If he would have hit him up a little higher, he would have got that.
Yeah,
but it shouldn't have got down to that point either. And that's a defensive thing with me. That defense has always been not productive as it should be, in my opinion.
Well, you have a defensive coach. You have a first-year defensive coach who was an ex-player, and you're not running those complicated schemes anymore. You're running a vanilla defense now.
You're running that high school theme that everybody knows about. So
yeah,
that's crazy. All right, brother. I want you to enjoy the game. I'm glad that you told me about what you're cooking. I know next year is going to be a lot better, but glad to see that you're not under the weather anymore and you're doing good. We got to keep this up. We got to stay locked in this year on Speak on the Sports, and definitely that starts with the draft, my brother.
Definitely will be definitely ready for it. It's going to be I think it's going to be I think the offseason is going to be crazy.
Can't wait.
The new year, the new season, I think as soon as it kicks off, I think that it's going to be, I think it's going to be crazy. I think the combine is not going to be the place where you think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Trade Central at the combine.
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna save it for next time. We'll talk about that next time. But appreciate you, man. Enjoy yourself.
You and the wife enjoy the game, and I will get back at you.
Likewise, you and the fam enjoy the game too, man. I'll holler at you.
All
right. That was T Sizzle, my boy down in the DMC. Appreciate you. Another great show. Speak on the Sports. Couldn't do it without him. Love you guys out there in Fanville. Be a part of the program. Get the number down, 512-539-0648. Reach us on Facebook at Speak on the Sports and at X at NYG Men for Life. And if you look down and it's scrolling, you'll see you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out this video if you like. Miguelito, appreciate you, brother. I don't know about your prediction, but we'll see. That's why we played the game. And I'm out. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the other side when we discuss the 2025 NFL Draft.